All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I got the little rat out here with me. We're gonna do a little buck bed hunting. I've had some requests about looking for buck beds. You know, we do it a little bit. I don't do it a whole lot, you know, except on some newer areas, because generally I don't like messing with them too much because we're mainly chasing the rut. You know, early season we'll set up kind of close to them. So as far as bow hunting in specific areas outside of our main area, so it's kind of tough. And this is hill country, so we're going to talk about that. It's right now it's early spring, so your bucks have already bachelored up, most of them. So you're in bachelor groups, except for maybe your the old mature monster bucks. Sometimes they don't like being around other deer, so they're going to bed off. They might carry another one with them, like that monster one I killed with a muzzleloader. He had another little bit younger buck that he stayed with up until pre-rut. So some of them will do that, but a lot of your big bucks don't like to associate with other deer, so they're going to bed off. So you got to kind of think springtime and summer till fall. All the, you know, some of your mature bucks that you want to hunt are going to be bachelored up in 5 or 6 buck groups, 4 or 5, and maybe 2 or 3. But so you got to kind of take that into consideration. They're going to stay together, you know, in your area somewhere. But finding that and not really using that for hunting, you know, this place where we hunt at early, they bust up about the time season's open. So most of the time your big old bucks are split off from any bachelor groups. And even your 3-year-olds, a 2-year-old and stuff like that might stay together longer. But most of the time your 4 and 5 and stuff like that, they done split off. So you've got a bunch of different fingers and points and stuff that them bucks will go to, and some of them will establish completely their own area, you know, a couple miles away. You might not even see them again. So you got to kind of think about that. So the basics for buck bed hunting, you know, I'm not going to show it on a topo map because there's all kind of topo map tutorials. So what you're going to look for is find a ridge or ridges, then find anything that comes off them ridges. You know, kind of look and see what your wind is going to be during the hunting season, you know, what the dominant wind, because most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, a mature buck likes to bed on some kind of secondary point or little ridge where he's got a view in front of him above stuff. It might be 30 feet off a creek, and it might be on up around on your military crest, stuff like that. It just depends, you know, especially early part of the season, they might bed a little bit lower, but you know, later on when it gets colder and you know, you're going to have people say south-facing slopes, you know, north. I think the north is better for the mature bucks because they can get on them and have a downdraft, you know, lowering thermals way later, and then they might reposition because it's hard to get in a bucket beds like that when he's using them lower thermals coming down over his back. It's almost impossible for you to get to him like that, and he knows that. So, but anyway, most of the time a mature buck's going to bed on some kind of point or hump with he's got open view, something hard to his back, wind coming over his back, rising thermals, you know. And to get rising thermals, you're going to have the sun shining there at one point. So lowering thermals, you know, is cool or by water, so, or on the opposite side of a ridge. So you always got to think about that. And I don't, like I say, most time early season we'll hunt. The best chance to hunt close to a bed is in the evening because you can see and you can sneak in and kind of see if you kind of disturb anything and not, you know, push him out, because you want to get, like I say, most time I want to try 100 yards or something like that off of something close from a hill or a point that I think he could be coming off of, or even up even with him, you know, if I can get there without making too much noise. You know, woods noise and stuff like that, it's not going to be that bad, but metal is the key, you know, metal. So, you know, walking noise, pig noise, turkey noise, you know, they're used to that. So just, you know, not breaking a bunch of sticks and stuff, but you can sneak in. But in the morning, if you're trying to get to them, to hunt them, most of the time you got to remember when a buck goes to his bedding area where he's going to bed, he's either going to zigzag or he's going to do a J-hook and check his trail out, you know, his area before he beds. And if you get there walking in the dark, trying to get to a place you're using a flashlight or whatever, it's hard to get there because you got a very good chance that you might bust him, because most of the time they're going to be there before daylight, especially mature bucks. So you got to figure out how to get there without spooking them. And if you do spook them, you ain't going to know it in the dark because they'll slip off. They don't blow, they don't run off, they just ease off. You know, they could let you walk by them and then they turn and go somewhere else. But That's the hardest part about that. So during the rut, them suckers can bed anywhere. They can bed by does. They're gonna bed strategic places to pick up does and heat and stuff like that. So that's almost impossible to figure out, because your doe groups, you got to kind of know where they are, and that could change due to food source and stuff. So that's kind of the basics of it. And swamps, you know, swamps, if there's points around swamps, you know, the same thing, you're just looking for little points. But in the swamps, you'll be finding humps, dry spots, and them will be more like wind directional. You know, he'll have a line of sight, then he'll have just the wind, you know, whatever the dominant wind is blowing to him, and he'll have that coming over his back most of the time. So, and sometimes you can throw it all at the window, and they just go somewhere they know people are not going to mess with them. They figure it out because they're 5, 6 years old, know where the people ain't going to be, know if a person does come to them, they'll see them or hear them or smell them way before that person can see them, and they'll be either gone or they'll sit there and watch until you're a threat, and they can get out of there without you getting a shot, because they're going to be somewhere thick and they're going to have an escape route. So keep all that in mind. It's kind of tough, especially in the south, because the big woods, because there's just so many places they can bed, so many places they can get away, and it's so dang thick and stuff like that. They're not food driven as much as in the north as far as moving in the daylight, so you got to kind of play the rut for that stuff. But anyway, we're gonna get after it and see what we can find and try to show y'all some more videos. So we'll be back. And you gonna say hi?
Hi everybody.
She's been sitting there being quiet. She's the one that made me get up and get out here today. She said, I don't want to go buck. She's looking for sheds.
I can't get a word in with Michael, so I just listen.
Hey, but she is the boss now. Are you looking for a shed?
I am looking for a shed.
Big buck bed?
Big buck bed.
Big dropping.
And big dropping.
And big dropping. That's what we're looking for. So anyway, we're going back, do some more video and see if we can find y'all something. So stay tuned. And Kathy went down to the little bottom before we go up, and just because sometimes you can see buck tracks, stuff like that, and kind of see where they're coming up. And it's kind of wind blowing pretty hard right now, but maybe I can talk loud enough it don't interfere. But come up on a little pig wallow, not a very big pig wallow, but a small one. You can see some little tracks. They're just rounded toe tracks. That's usually how you tell what a pig track is. It's rounded, don't have the sharper hooves. So going back to some water and stuff up there and some thick blowdowns. But anyway, thought I'd show y'all that just in case some people are interested in seeing some stuff like that, because it's unique and different. It goes along with the woodmanship. So.
All right, folks, we just left seeing a hog track, and just not even 10 steps, we seen a pretty good sized doe track. You can look down here and see it. It looks pretty fresh.
That's fresh. Pretty good sized doe, looks like. It's not split toe, so.
Pretty good.
We figured it'd come off that hill up there somewhere, going up here to like a secondary point, and it looks like it's just come off the hill and come down here to maybe get water. They're just walking that drainage, so heading straight to where that water's running fresh right there. So anyway, we're gonna keep on, but that's a pretty good sign, just finding deer. Okay, hopefully I can talk over this wind, but anyway, I hit this light trail that's coming down from up there. You can see some old footprint, some old smaller like doe dropping stuff right in here. So this is coming down here to this thick wall thicket thing, and this is the stuff that you're dealing with in this hill country, or the laurel bush steep ravines and stuff like that. They'll actually, some places go into them hemlocks and it's dark, but this is where them deer can get in, especially bucks. You look over about 50 yards, it's hard to see from here, but there'll be a steep drop off down there, and they can bed close to that and have that stuff right there behind them and an open view in front of them. They can bail off way before you get down here to them, but there's no way, because I had to come through a bunch of blowdowns up there just to get down here. So I'm gonna walk down here a little bit. Walk through a bunch of hog trying too, but you can see there's a trail that goes through that crap, and a lot of people say, well, a big buck can't go through that stuff. That's bull crap. A big buck, I don't care how big a rack he is, he can run under a kitchen table wide open. They roll that head back and them horns around their body if they're real big and go. They can run low to the ground. faster than you can imagine. So, but anyway, this is the kind of stuff that them bucks will get in, and there's no way for you to get real close and hunt these. You know, you can get on the edges, you know, off a point or off the side, hoping they come down, or kind of parallel them and hoping they come by you. But you just got to be dang careful. And a lot of times with this wind blowing like it is right now, it's swirling. So it won't take long for you for they'll know that you're in here. So that makes it real tough to do that. Now this is a pretty good slick trail that comes around this stuff. I say it is nasty. So there's no, I mean, look up through there. There's no way. I mean, you can get down here and lay and be in the shade right now, be out of the wind in the winter, and the sun comes up like this morning sun coming up and shine on them enough to keep them warm. They can lay up here and chew the cud, and they might eat on some of that laurel bush a little bit and not go anywhere. So, but this is stuff we're looking for. We're just kind of checking it out, and stuff y'all can look at if you hunt this type of terrain. You know, it's not everybody's got this type of terrain, so it makes it tough for some people to kind of understand it unless they do hunt it. So, you know, you go farther south in Alabama and you don't have this. You know, you'll have thick stuff, it's cutovers and stuff, but this nasty thick stuff to go along with steep terrain, you don't have it that much in South Alabama. Anyway, go keep on looking. We'll be back with you here in a minute, but this is what you're looking for, this stuff. You see, I'm still in that thick laurel thicket. It's thick. But I pulled out that's a compacted deer turd. Buck turd. Just compacted. You can see the actual BBs. A hog won't do that. So this has been one of the ones using. So it could be a month ago or a couple weeks ago or something probably. So anyway, but this dang faint trail, believe it or not, goes through there. So I got to probably smell the deer a little bit, but anyway. But it's, I mean, that's why them suckers live so long out here, and a lot of them will die and you not never see them, or most people won't never see them. Most people won't never see that bug that just flew off. Anyway, and I know I say anyway a bunch of times on these videos, like it's crazy, I make fun of myself. So, but anyway, we're gonna keep walking on.
Hey everybody, look what you got out here at Bankhead. Ain't that beautiful?
The beauty of Bankhead.
It's a bunch of them.
And she's standing right beside a big old hog turd coming up from down that stuff. They got some hog beds down in there, so we moved around a little different point, and you see where I found that one buck turd. They got so dang thick. I got on that trail and walked around, but I couldn't get back there without danger slipping off the point. So I kind of come out and up
Right
and
there,
ran.
that shrub.
Yeah, that's that shrub. It's blooming. So
They go all the way down the mountain.
anyway, this thing greened up fast this year for early April. So we're sweating already. Supposed to be 80.
Hot too.
Supposed to be 80 something degrees. Is that right?
80. Well, when we got here, it was 81, and I'm already soaking wet.
Yeah, that wasn't even. It was before lunch. So anyway, we're gonna keep on looking. Anything for you to say? Well, anyway. No, you done?
All right, folks, here we are walking, and we walked up on a doe bed. You can see all the little pellets right here.
Yeah, it's actually like where 3 or 4 deer does been bedding doe with youngsters. So off of, you know, it's almost like we're be buck bedding, but does will do it too. It's off a point, not all the way down, but it's nasty that way. But they can hear. There's no way. Again, I'm gonna reiterate. There's no way you can get to them suckers from up there without. I mean, you gotta go through a bunch of blowdown and stuff like that.
Yeah, because look up there. That's what we come through.
Yeah, we come through up there. So.
Rough.
Yeah. And that wind is swirling right now, so they actually get wind direction from anywhere, anything. I mean, they pick up, I mean, it's a perfect place to lay for any kind of deer, buck, doe, whatever, because the wind stays swirling, so any kind of predator comes from anywhere, they'll pick it up. So be gone. They got multiple ways to get out of here, so pretty neat. But this is a good doe bedding spot, and we just come out of a bunch of hogs sign 100 yards up that way, so they have to interact together. They know them big old boars are bed like big bucks, so they just find a place they can get in and hide, and probably, you know, they stay by themselves too, just like big bucks and big old boars do. So it's kind of crazy. You'll run into mixed sign like that sometimes.
Look at this big old cedar tree. This thing is huge.
Yeah, that's no thing big. That's kind of rub we're looking for right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing about getting out here scouting and stuff like that, seeing some trees out here that's just huge. So, especially poplar trees and some big old pines that they hadn't cut, just 100+ year old trees. So we come off in the bottom, scaling around like we ain't found no big buck beds or anything, but we found them doe group beds. So, but we're still looking. So y'all stick with us.
Well, we started back walking again. Look at these big old deer tracks. They're huge.
It looks like a buck with closed toe. If that's a doe, that's a daggone whopper. That's a good sized track coming around this shelf, like flat above like a little bottom. So
I think it's up there too.
yeah, that's walking on this around this shelf. So
Yeah.
there's plenty of, and it's greened up so quick now that, you know, plenty of browse and stuff. They wander around just eating where they want to eat and just getting comfortable and get back fat. So it's pretty amazing. But that's a big track. So we're gonna see if we can find a bigger track. Okay, we're going up a old like logging road or old shelf or something, going up to a point. You can see multiple like historical rubs going up. So, rub coming down too, so that tells you it's going towards some type of bedding area or a food source to be going both ways like that. So that's a lot of times that's what I want to try to find, especially in pinch points and corridors and stuff, is rubs on both sides of trees or rubs on different trees going different directions, because it makes some kind of what I call a junction wagon wheel, whatever, where they just gonna come through and there's so many different bucks come through. It's kind of competitive that they're gonna all rub. So it's pretty neat. So sometimes your big old bucks might not rub, but them dang 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds, they're gonna wear it out a lot of times. The big boys, when they know that, I think you hear him fault and some of them other ones talk. Sometimes them big old mature bucks, they ain't wasting their energy doing a whole lot of rubbing, because they know better. They know they're the boss, basically. So we're gonna keep on going up this thick point, and till it comes like to a head, and then we'll see what's there. I might have found a buck bed. Okay, it looks, you know, it's pretty suspicious. It's over there, but right here in this flat spot, I don't really see any hair. I don't hardly ever even look for the hair. I just look for the flattened out spot. And behind him, big bluff, he's kind of hid behind this rock, but he can see anything down there if somebody comes from down there. But he probably knows that up that way is bluffed out pretty good. This is bluffed out pretty much all the way around. So if anything comes the way he's laying, they got to come through that stuff to get too close to him. He'd be done gone. But anyway, I bet that's more likely a buck bed at one point in time. You know, he could have been bedding here during the rut or whatever, and just sitting there, you know, thermal scent checking this bottom when because like I say, the morning sun shines here, so it comes up thermals. So very possible though. Anyway, I'm gonna follow this on around some more. There's a slight trail. It goes around that way, and you see all that crap bluffed off, nasty. Just prime hiding cover or bedding cover. What are you gonna do? Illusion cover. All these boulders and stuff. You got a little tip. Y'all run out of water, need some drinking water, you can find these little places like this. You can drink that water. Wouldn't be an issue. Ain't no beaver ponds up there. So it's just drainage out of the mountain. Hearsay is they made some good whiskey out of that years ago. This is just a nasty, crazy looking steep draw, and we was walking the old shelf and found some older droppings and stuff like that. So we're heading up. So anyway, I think we've been walking for 2 hours now, so 2.5 hours. But rats down there. You hot down there?
Standing by a deer track.
You standing by a deer track?
Yeah.
Well, wipe it out. Don't let nobody see it.
Well, I want you to see it, then I'll wipe it out.
All right. Let me go look at it. Is it a big track? Small track?
Yeah.
Small tracks matter too, so we got to look at them. Yep.
I can spot them.
That's a doe track. Oh yeah, she can spot them. Fresh doe track. Coming off his heel. Off his shelf, it's kind of hidden like. So.
We're still on the logging road. We're coming up to a pretty good sized scrape right here.
Yeah, it's on like a old logging road that's kind of like in a shelf now. With a pretty good trail. Wore out, part of it's pigs and part of it's deer, but that's a scrape with some broke down licking branches and stuff, so pretty good sign. It's in a dang funky, like steep terrain. You couldn't, like you'd have to be, I don't know where you could actually hunt them because the wind blowing, you're in trouble. So it's gonna ricochet, swirl like crazy, and that's probably why it's here. So I'm gonna follow this trail. A pretty dang slick trail, but like I say, part of it's pigs using it, so it's in between two steep draws. We're following it going on up because that one good deer track. And we found a bed back there, so anyway, that's pretty slick. That's probably too much pig sign really for me once it gets up in here. I guess pigs are using it because of the funnel. You know, there's like humans or whatever, they're not going, at times they won't go in as rough a terrain as a deer will, but they will sometimes. But right now they're just using this old logging road and just wearing it out. We come back by that water. She's up there getting water again.
Hey everybody. Whew, we're back where we started. Done been around 5 miles. Seen all kind of good sign. And so we're gonna call today and go home.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah. We seen we found one good buck bed for sure, and some doe group beds. So several good tracks and stuff like that and rubs. So like I say, we nearly done 5 miles and it's getting toward dark now, so we're heading back to the truck. You know, thank y'all for watching, subscribing, and we'll see y'all later. Hey everybody, I appreciate y'all stopping by and checking the channel out. You know, we really appreciate the support and the comments and stuff like that. So if you don't mind, keep it up. And if you haven't got a book yet, stop by Amazon or check Amazon out and get a book. If you want one signed or something like that, you can contact me on Facebook, personal message, stuff like that, and I'll get one took care of to you. So